Hey, monkey boy. This time I can prove the Israelites weren't black using ChatGPT. Ha!
So that's what we're doing now? Using AI?
What was that? I couldn't hear you over that smoke alarm chirp you people can't hear. Say that again?
Hilarious and original.
Hilarious and original. Hilarious and original. Hilarious and original.
I said, is that what we're doing now? Using AI to prove who the Israelites are?
That's exactly what we're doing, and I'll show you, boy.
Oh, brother.
2 hours later.
Your room still stinks.
Look at how easily ChatGPT debunks everything you chimps have to say. Ha! You was not kings, and you was not Israelites.
If we're going to use AI, then let's at least use an AI that's trained on the Bible without the Masoretic mistranslations or any agendas and actually tells us the truth.
Liar, there's no such thing.
I'll show you. Let's use Israelite Bot. Go to IsraeliteBot.com and ask the same thing.
Fine, but I bet it'll say the same thing as ChatGPT. No! No!
You see? I told you.
No!
And it shows biblical proof.
No! This is preposterous. I hate this website. It's all wrong.
Stop crying.
Your website sucks.
The Rise of Africa, the continent, the diaspora, and BRICS explores the relationships that are affecting the global economy right now. This book explores the relationships of the African diaspora's influence on the African continent and why this is important in stabilizing relationships with an understanding of how BRICS impacts the future, good or bad. You can order your copy of The Rise of Africa today on Amazon.com.
Neo-diplomacy is the new currency. Neo-diplomacy is the new currency. The reason that I can say that is you have a couple of different factors occurring right now as we speak on the world stage. The dollar is being disrupted. Nations are no longer wanting to engage with the United States. But the third factor that affects each and every one of us is that there is a diaspora from the African continent that's willing and able to engage our brothers and sisters on the continent.
There we go. Shalom. Salama. Thiemi. Shalom. Greetings to all my Israelite brothers and sisters from around the world, whether the bloodline of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the house of Israel. You're a Gentile grafted into the house under the blood of Yahushua HaMashiach. I welcome you this morning. Oh, my goodness. This is an interesting morning. I thank you all. Just please pray for me, family. There's some things that I am working on, trying to get things taken care of. Because, today I have my dissertation proposal defense. And I get home yesterday, I'm thinking, okay, as soon as I actually am leaving the school, I'm on the phone with multiple folks. And then I'm off to my class. And then I'm tired. I'm just kind of going through the motions. Today was like my first full day, or yesterday was my first full day of school because on Mondays they have a shortened day. Then Tuesday through Friday, it's long days. So yesterday was really the first full long day of school, and it just doesn't take a toll on the students. It also takes a toll on the teachers. And so as I was coming back and having to work on things, I was like, all right, this should be easy. I'm not gonna lie, I read those slides verbatim. And my committee chair, my professor, was like, nah, that's not gonna fly. So we spent a couple hours. I didn't get through till like 9:30. From 6 o'clock to 9:30. But it was interesting. We had a couple, a discussion of sorts for a couple minutes, And now that I'm getting ready to cross this threshold of an academic milestone, we had a discussion, about a 20-minute discussion, and he was talking about his faith with being part of the LDS, and that's the Latter-day Saints, for those that don't know. He does live in Utah. And of course, that's going to be a little bit more of an affinity, right? And it was so interesting because, look, I like to sit down and hear people talk, glean knowledge, glean understanding. I know his knowledge and understanding. I get it. Oh, I'm not going to say they're all. And that's where our people, we just totally get it wrong because we don't want to actually listen to another understanding to get more understanding, because you then tend to understand what it is that's going on. Now, I understand that, it was a trifle matter into trying to assuage me into Mormonism. Your knowledge is perfected when you get your golden portion, or your golden portions, golden plates, golden bowls with your heavenly PJs, overalls, underwhites, who knows? Do I get a heavenly mandate for eternal salvation in heaven, or does it have to be re-voted on every 750 years to make sure that I'm still a heavenly citizen. I gotta understand the fine print. So understand this was very interesting because I had to think about it because you know me. Look, I don't care how tired I am. My mind is still clicking. I'm just tired, and the ruach is still clicking in me, even though I'm still tired. And you know what? I came through and I said, we see spinning egg, onion volcano. Because I came through with the spiritual hibachi chef, white hat and all, throwing that egg up in my hat and then cracking it over that little spatula, flipper, whatever you want to call it, kitchen utensil. It came over the blade, and I had to let the thing cook. And you know, the funny thing is because I understood what they were saying, because the funny thing is that if you truly understand American theology, it's American theology. All parts, one Elohim. Because that is the banding of what Esau did. It goes all the way, and I broke that down to him. I said, this goes all the way to Babylon, Samaria. Every nation had their gods. You even had that with Abraham. Abraham saw that they had their gods. Because why? Babylon fell. Egypt rose. Same thing, same gods. They just put another spin on it. Because why? Because their gods were going to be just a little bit better. And then that broke apart. And then you had the Greeks. And then the Greeks were like, well, we can philosophize to have gods and regions and areas and sectors and things of that nature. And then you had Rome, and you had a split and a division. And guess what? In there, you had other folks, other gods, other principalities. I don't care what you want to call it. I still believe that Islam, in my opinion, is a spinoff of Roman Catholicism. It's just the Roman Catholicism of the South, where you still have the Kaaba. They, with their 300 and plus gods in the cube, they just have theirs. In terms of the Vatican, it's a little bit more nuanced, but guess what? They still have the obelisk. They still have their symbol of phallic worship right in St. Peter's Square. And so one of the things that was interesting, they have in their doctrine of Save America. And I said, oh, that's interesting. I wanted to listen. And basically, I was told that, you know, the Mormons had believed, they prophesied, you know how that goes. Okay. All these events that America would be in, of course they're going to be in events. It was not, that was like the playbook 101. You got rid of slavery. What are you going to do? Continue to destabilize. Because why? Because y'all been doing it since what? Since the dumb diverses. Because if you're not fighting on the continent, you're fighting each other. You're fighting within one another. Okay. That's just principalities fighting. Sorry. But one of the things that was so remarkable was that what was stated was that they believed that as this nation falls, that the LDS church will be constructed to save America, to save democracy, to save a vain thing. And don't get it twisted, it is vanity. And so I came through after that and I said, I understand where you're saying. And I gave my breakdown. And in my breakdown, I literally quoted scriptures. And I said, you know what? Habakkuk chapter 2 comes to mind. Woe to him that buildeth the town with blood and establisheth the city by iniquity. This is what's on the screen. And I said, and you know, the funny thing is, that was on my heart all last night. Behold, is it not Yahuwah of hosts, that the people shall labor in the very fire, and the people shall worry themselves for very vanity. They're worrying themselves for lies. Doesn't that ring a bell with Jeremiah chapter 16, verse 19? The Gentiles shall come to thee, that they have inherited lies and in things that there was no profit. They inherited lies from their forefathers. Because why? What will be going on at that time? Well, that's Habakkuk chapter 2 and 14. For the earth shall be filled with the knowledge of the glory of Yahuwah as the waters cover the sea. Are you telling me that we're not in a knowledgeable age? No, we're in a very dumb, ignorant age. We're in an age where you want to know how dumb and ignorant we are? Well, become a teacher in the state of Florida. They'll let you know. You aren't allowed to say this. You can't say that. You can't say this. You can't say that. So basically, you can't tell them anything of the truth. And now they have to try to understand what is really happening around this world. And hey, sorry, we can't talk about white supremacy. Sorry, we can't talk about unjust laws. Sorry, we can't talk about the wickedness that your forefathers have engaged in. That's now coming to a head. And now as it's coming to a head, now it's, well, I can't say anything about it because if not, then I get in trouble. What did you get in trouble for? For telling the truth. Why? Because you're no longer able to tell the truth. It's lies. It's vanity. It's things that's wherein there is no profit. Here, I'm gonna put this on out there. I'm gonna kind of jump from thing to thing. Thing to thing to thing. All right. So this is interesting because I want to show you this. I was up this morning and I was looking at some of these little news clips from YouTube, and one of the things that I had gotten from, and I spoke on this yesterday, was Hindustan Times, and I laughed because I said, "Oh yeah, don't think that Putin's not coming to Alaska. He surely is. There's a reason for it." So here's this article I just put in the chat. Alaska's R signed appears in Russian city. Internet shock. Threatening billboards appear just a day after Putin's allies said that Russia could reclaim the country sold to the United States in 1867. This was edited by Amit Shatuvedi. This was 3 years ago, over 3 years ago. But one of the key things that is stated is that there had been, for 3 years, even 3 years, this talk of Russia reclaiming Alaska. I just want to give you that article so you can kind of see it. And now, here we go. Keep in mind, this is now coming through. This is as of August 11th. This is X. Someone wrote here, the ICC has warrants for Putin's arrest in 123 countries. Putin rarely leaves Russia, but will meet with Trump in Alaska on 15th to discuss swapping territories between Ukraine. Putin wants Alaska back. Is Trump creating a DC fortress to protect himself to facilitate a deal? My answer is yes. Yes, yes, and yes. Another post on X says, big misspeak, and twice Alaska used to be part of Russia, and Russia wants it back. Their soldiers have hatchets that say, I will take everything that's mine, with Alaska on the patch. There's Alaska. Hindustan. Russia eyes Alaska. Russians now linking Crimea. This is as of August 9th. Crimea and Donbass with claims that Alaska is theirs. Putin pulls Trump to meet in Russian America. Can you say man in the high castle? Russians say Alaska is ours. In the same breath, they say Crimea is ours. Putin owns Trump and manipulated his asset to hold a meeting in Russian America. The Russians make the connection clear. If Crimea and Donbass are part of Ukraine, then Alaska isn't part of the USA. Now all of a sudden, we have aliens on the horizon. Right, in 2 weeks? 2 weeks that we just raise our hands in the air, we throw our hands in the air and raise them like we just don't care. So if you have fish and chips and all the good dip, everybody let me hear you say, oh yeah. So can we say me and you, your mama and your cousin too? Rolling down cosmic slop on rolls. I laugh because I'm like, man, that is if that's the only trick that they have left up their sleeves. I didn't say 2 weeks, they said it. Think about it. And I was trying to find the article that that Hindustans had. It was a video. Let me go here into my history, so you all can see the video. I'll share this. It'll share it in the chat. Yes, it is a very bold statement. The boldest of the bold. I put that video in there because in the video it says that the purchase of $7.2 million in 1867 is now the equivalent of $156 million. So is Alaska only worth $156 million? Now, here was something that was telling. Let's just do some simple math, shall we? Let's do some simple math. I like to use my calculator. The 300,000, or excuse me. I'm going to put this 300 billion. That's how much they have of Russian assets in dollars. 300 billion times, let's just put the interest at 0.05, which is 5%. So do you know that 5% interest alone off of 300 billion do you know that is literally $15 billion? So imagine that a year, that $15 billion is being taken. Oh, they're gonna get Russia back, or excuse me, Russia's gonna get Alaska back. They're getting Alaska back. And the reason I say that is because the U.S. is bankrupt. It's bankrupt. You wouldn't have the president on out here fabricating lies on Washington, D.C. Oh, black people, black people, black people. He's not really saying that, but you want to know what he means. Urban. Them city folks, some black folks, city folks, the hood. Their problems. They're the source of problems. So I got to militarize, easy peasy, right? We've been to blame on everything. So you don't think that he wasn't going to blame us for him declaring martial law and reinforcing himself in military garrison that locks down a city so you have layered defense? Because why? Because if he sells off a territory, a state, what else is he going to sell? You know, once you get through selling land, the only thing that's left is to sell people. Oh, they did not think that they were going to go into captivity. They thought that we were crazy. He that killeth with the sword shall be killed by the sword. He that leadeth in the captivity shall be what? Led into captivity. What happens to all those people that are going to say, this is my land, I'm staying on my land? If you don't want to be speaking Russian, if you don't want to assimilate, then you're going to have to do some forced re-education in Siberia. People think that this is a joke. This isn't a joke. This isn't a game. This is for real. Forced rehabilitation in Siberia. Well, then what's next? China will say, you want to know what? Here are our documents of our voyages to the other side of the world, of our voyages to the other side of the Pacific. Here are our scrolls. We have a claim too. And then here comes the Spanish, and here comes the Mexicans, and here come the Canadians, and here come the Europeans. What do you have? You have a balkanized United States. I do seem to remember that Teyu and Yakoba did a teaching on this a while ago. And now here it is. And people are going to get mad. Well, who needs Russia? And then he will talk to his feudal, his fiefdom. That's what it is. Don't get it twisted. He'll talk to his fiefdom and he'll say, we really didn't need that state anyway. It's a drain. It was a total drain. And the drain is total drain because it's drain and a drain of a drain of a drain. So we're much better off where we can really protect the homeland and it's always there. And who cares? It was cold. We'll say some crazy stuff like that. All the whiles, we got aliens on the horizon. What, 2 weeks from now? When them Atlasians coming? Said aliens. In late August. They're saying that scientists, let me share this with you. This is on the X. I wouldn't, and honestly, to be honest, I wouldn't really share any of this crazy nonsense. But I have to ask myself, why are they saying this right now? Here's July 25th of UFO Mania. Scientists consider possibility of alien attack on Earth in November in a paper published on July 22nd. Researchers proposed that the recently discovered interstellar object 3I/Atlas may be an artificial alien spacecraft maneuvering for a potential attack on Earth. According to NASA, extraterrestrial beings will be visiting Earth in November, and these beings have a strong resemblance to African Americans. I just hope they aren't racist. What? Are you sure? Why? Why is your hope? Why is your hope that they don't get a lick back? We told y'all we don't have no power in our hands. We told y'all. People are commenting that the mean and scary all aliens need to go ahead and speed up their plans. Late August, just saying. Late August, the Fifth Circuit. Okay, well, they're talking about now legal aliens. I don't know about you. But what that signals to me is they've lost control. What will be their first step? Well, ah, oh, obviously, them aliens. When you look at this map of Atlanta, there's the airport right here. You gotta have your spacecraft at the airport to make sure that there's no air traffic. Then you gotta get on Camp Creek Parkway. And then make your way on over to This Is It Southern Kitchen and Barbecue. Man, get that alien some chicken and ribs. Get that alien some fried chicken and ribs. Some collard greens. I floated here in no Bugatti. I floated here in no Bugatti. Oh. Cadillac spacecraft. Will it be that they're going to be lowering Cadillac doors instead of slamming Cadillac doors? Dun, 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 dun. Oh. They're going to have golds up in their mouth. When they smiled, it was like the sun. Then I realized they had gold teeth and some diamonds in there. And I looked at their visage. I couldn't even hardly see the visage with all them diamond chains. I looked at the robes and it said Fendi and Versace. What? What? Why they got Yeezys on? They're gonna be some aliens going to ATL to be called Atlians. I'm just saying. The wheel within the wheel. They are saying they will not go to an all-white party. They're going to pull out their space lasers. All white. Be looking like Attack on Mars. Or Mars Attack. The soldiers getting out with Nike Tech jumps suits on. Track suits. I thought that was an NBA player. I was like, it's a whole couple basketball teams. Are they playing FIBA? Oh. Well, family, I guess I made it to the ATL and back in time. But I'm going to tell you this. If them aliens land in the ATL, you know I'm going to be going on over there. Ray and I are going to be going on over there. I will have a 6-hour live stream. I'm leaving my house in Tampa. We're going to make it on over to them aliens. I'm going to see. I don't know, but doesn't the word say, look, there's the Son of Man, there's the Son of Man. Don't look. I don't know. But inquiring minds, they need to know. They have to know. I'll just say, Father, be with me as I look at this foolishness for myself to see them fallen angels coming through here. Yeah, God, that's what I'm saying. It's monsters. And then when you see literally the Warner Brothers cartoons, the Looney Tunes jumping on out. Well, honestly, we already have Looney Tunes up in government, so it really don't matter. I guess it is Monstars versus Looney Tunes. I gotta meet with Putin, folks. Why does Pete Hegseth remind me of Sylvester? I tell the State Department that we have troops and everything else in the facility. They got Marco Rubio looking like Elmer Fudd. I thought I saw a G-cat. Nah. Yes, family, I think they're going to have a basketball game to save the world. They better get Mike. I want to be like Mike. I want to be like Mike. Oh, I'm so sorry, family. This is how the end goes, and we're going to be laughing all the way to their destruction. You bust on there. You bust. If I hit him high, hit him high, hit him high. You hit him low, hit him low, hit him low. Well, I'm telling you, Mike is going to be selling them Jordan 11s like hotcakes. I'm rolling in there in my Space Jam editions. I got my Space Jam editions. I'm rolling in my Space Jams. Jam. Everybody's going to be bumping 90s tracks. Oh. We have to keep R. Kelly away because R. Kelly and Diddy gonna be like, seems like the aliens are ready. They touched down, they were ready to go all the way. Keep them away from the aliens. How come they want to do mating rituals? I'm so sorry, family. I'm so sorry that you're partaking in my ignorance. Early this morning, early in the morning, I found me another alien because I got to get up. There's an alien that's about to land in the ATL. That's the plan. Well, oh my goodness. All right, I got to get up on out of here, family. You can support this channel. I appreciate all your support, your gifts. They do go a far way, a long way. This is an interesting time, to say the least. So I'll have to see if we will be selling tinfoil hats. I'll ask Jacoba and Teyu if they can sell some tinfoil hats and brand it 8 pound, 8 no 400-year prophecy. Space Jam edition. Just in case the aliens scan our brains. So everybody just walk with just walk. Oh, I'm sorry, I could go all day. Here comes the man in black. Will Agent J and K be there? Oh my, okay. I gotta go. All right, family. Most High willing, I'll be back on tomorrow. You all be blessed. Shalom, everyone.